So there you go.
Great. Okay, you guys want to hear my idea?
I do.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, two-sided marketplace.
Okay. Love it already.
Okay. Two-sided marketplaces are hard, but no one's ever done this to what I can tell. Okay, so here's the problem. I'm going to start with the pain point.
Yeah.
So my sister had a baby, and she was nursing this baby, and she realized that the baby was allergic to some things that she was not allergic to. So my sister was eating things that were then passing through to her milk, and then her baby was allergic to that part of her milk. So she had to drop things out of her diet so that the baby could drink her milk.
Yikes.
And I was like, whoa, what if you really just need someone else who's already eating the way you need your baby to eat, and then you need her milk instead?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, is that kind of creepy? And I was like, well, people use milk banks. So what she needed was like a vegan to like make her milk.
Yeah.
So what if you could literally go on a marketplace and pick a vegan who wanted to sell you her milk as her like side hustle?
Interesting.
And then it was just like sold to you. So, and there's a lot of other women who can't produce the milk that they need, or they just don't have enough, or they're going to be traveling out, or whatever the reason is.
So this is a landing page for
the shoppers, for
breastfeeding?
breast milk, breastfeeding. So breastfeeders, and then the mothers of the babies who need the milk to find each other.
Yes.
And either I don't know if they live near each other, or they have to drop it off, or the site provides the shipping labels, or like cold packaging materials. I don't know.
Because breast milk does have a shelf life, but
Yes.
but like you can freeze, like
You
we
can
have
freeze
You can
it. Yeah.
freeze it.
Yeah, we have frozen milk that we have. Like just the other day, we unfroze some because we had got a babysitter. We're like, well, just in case.
Right. And what if, okay, so here's the crazy thing, is not just women who have had kids can actually make breast milk. So you could induce breast milk when
Just a
you,
side
like
hustle.
as a side hustle to put yourself through college, which would
like
take a
donating-
lot of convincing.
It's like donating
plasma, but way less painful. So
No. So
it's a little bit completely insane, but also
it's not.
like,
Here's the thing.
It's not that insane.
No. So I listened to, I don't want to sound like I'm super educated on the topic, because
I am not either. I've never
But
done
I did
this.
listen to a
I'm
podcast.
super into breast milk.
Yeah, this is like my specialty. No, I listened to a podcast, and essentially the story of the podcast was, like kind of the woman that they were following had, she had breast milk problems, like she
Right.
couldn't produce or something like that, but her son needed breast milk, like he had to have breast milk.
Exactly. This happens sometimes.
And she went through this whole process of like trying to find, basically like she would hit every milk bank and get as much as she could, and it
Yes.
still wasn't enough.
Really?
And then she had to like post on like Facebook groups and find people.
That's posted on a lot. My friend on the moms group say that this is one of the most common posts on
Yes.
the mom groups.
Really?
Is do you
Like,
have extra breast milk?
There
or I
is
have
a
extra breast
serious, very, very serious
milk. Isn't that
need.
insane?
Yes.
I had no idea.
And it basically, like, a really similar problem is she could find it privately, but it was so, like, because it's not, the supply is so low, like, of people that are selling it in the public market, that you can just go find and, like,
yeah, there's
post
like
on
a
an app.
cost per ounce of breast milk.
Yes,
that, like,
and
all
it's
the moms
extremely
know.
high.
Yes.
But in a world where there was, like, a true, like, app that was connecting buyers
So there
and
was enough
sellers.
supply.
Because we know that there are women where if they could easily sell it, like, in a safe environment, that they
Right.
would breastfeed longer to produce
yeah,
milk.
I think
Yeah,
I
even
get
if-
past the taboo a little bit of like,
Right.
yeah, can I, should I don't
And
know.
some
Yeah.
women don't like breastfeeding, and some women are like, "This is so easy."
Yeah.
So what if you just don't like it, but you know that you do want breast milk? And I'm not saying
you're
whether
connecting
you should or
people
should not
that
use
need
breast
it
milk or not,
with people
but-
that find it easy, or
Right.
yeah, and don't have a problem producing.
Yeah, like with
A huge need.
with Jack, with my first kid, towards the tail ends, he was weaning off, but like my wife's milk supply was still high, so we had
Right.
like tons. And then like it lasts for about 3 months frozen, and then you just have to toss it. So we tossed like a ton of milk.
Oh, so
Yeah.
sad. And
You
there's
know.
probably some lady.
No, there
looking
are
for
women that need it.
right?
yeah,
right.
and it was just
Or
like
I guess dads who have their kid half the time, and maybe they're divorced or whatever
a
it is.
million
I don't know,
scenarios.
right?
A million scenarios.
So-
Specific dietary needs, very common.
Yes.
Women with breastfeeding problems, very common.
Yeah.
Are there other
There's just milk banks. It's kind of regulated. I haven't really thought this all the way through.
are there other like outside the vegan, like are there other types of like it's a high iron diet, or like
I don't know, but like I would like to pick
definitely
somebody
are.
healthier than myself.
There definitely are.
Like
I'm a triathlete, and
or maybe you don't want to stop drinking coffee, or I don't know. I
like
don't
a
know how that
billion
affects it.
reasons,
Yeah.
right? Or it's just
It's like surrogate.
it's
milk.
uncomfortable and you don't want to do it, right?
Yeah.
Is a good enough reason in an open market.
But I would love to if I could just pay for breast milk, but like I don't produce enough. Like I think that would. Yeah, I know.
Right.
I personally know people who are like in that boat of like, yeah,
Right.
it's
So
sick.
I looked at it a little bit, and then I looked at the from what I could tell, and when in my like very early validation, it sounds like the number of women who actually have low supply is not very high. So a lot of women think they don't have enough supply of milk, but the actual numbers proving that they don't is very low. So I was like, oh, maybe it's not a big enough market. But if I ever did it, it would be called MilkMaid or MilkMaid because I thought that was
I like
really
that.
cute.
That is a really cute
And
name.
that's my slightly crazy, you'd probably get sued 1,000 times idea.
I don't think
But
it's crazy.
kind of fun.
I don't think it's crazy.
You don't think it's crazy?
No.
I
think it's a little bit.
crazy.
I think the reason that we look at it and say it's crazy is because,
Known that
for
we're
whatever
doing it.
reason, breast milk is like a weird taboo topic.
Which we're working on.
Yeah.
Making sure it's not.
But in a
taboo.
world where it wasn't so taboo, I know that women would use a service like this.
Especially like think about all like the really really rich women or just people
Yes.
who think it's just completely inconvenient because I think that it is. But college kids. will
But they
do
all,
inconvenient
what is
things.
universally understood is that breast milk is good
Yeah.
for babies.
Right.
That's universal. So there are women that go straight to formula, or there are women that go
Yep.
early to formula that would benefit
Yeah.
from the opportunity to just have an easy breast milk solution.
Yep.
And there are women that have real struggles and problems
Totally.
that need it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah,
you would have to prove, I think, that she didn't have like you to get certified, like to get on the app as a supplier, you'd have to prove that you didn't
You're
have
not on heroin.
Yes,
like,
you weren't on any drugs and you didn't have any STDs of any
and maybe
kind,
that's
I
like
think.
where the app
And that's
makes.
it.
That's why people use the app.
That's
is
why you
because they're
don't
doing
go
that.
off the app once
Well,
you find your
well,
supplier.
and if you're somebody who is the supplier, you do a quick background check or a test
Right.
or whatever. So like, there's a process to become, because you are going to make money off of this. It's like you got to make sure that they're whatever. But to be a buyer, like yeah, you could be anybody.
Right, and maybe you only ship.
Well, not anybody.
Right. You can't be
Anybody.
anybody. Yeah, we don't want regular people to be drinking this milk unless maybe there's a market for that.
That's
I
a
don't
whole
know.
different app.
We're gonna say
That is
just
not the
babies for
MilkMaid's
now.
app.
But I do think that there's probably some sort of like repurposable.
We joke about this, about like putting breast milk into like tablets and selling it like an MLM, and it would probably sell like hotcakes.
Oh, I think this happened on
Almost,
Superstore,
yeah.
that one show. He like made breast milk cheese or something.
Oh yeah.
Don't do
Which
it.
people would be.
I'm just saying, if you people
No.
people will like grind down their placenta and like,
Yep,
eat
I've heard
that
of
because
that.
they think it's healthy.
Yeah.
Breast milk actually is healthy, and if you were like, yeah, this is distilled down into like a little tablet form, and it's got all these great things, like
There's
people
so
would
many
flock to it.
variations. This is
There's gotta
actually just
be.
the umbrella company for many, many other products.
Oh my gosh.
But they
Okay, I
probably
like
need to
the main
ship it,
idea.
like every
Okay.
week or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's it.
no.
I gotta run.
Yeah.
but
Totally.
dwell on that.
Love it. We're gonna talk more about it, Emily.
Yeah, we're into it. That's a great idea.
Love
Emily,
having
great
you on
to
the
have
podcast.
you on
Hey, thank you.
Enjoy
Sorry,
your
I gotta
meeting.
run.
No,
Say-
you're fine.
Say goodbye to the
Thank
thieves.
you. Bye. Bye, thieves.
What a dumb idea.
Kidding, Emily. No, good idea.
Yeah, really good idea.
I think we can say that with her safely out of the room now.
Yeah.
I think we're just all three of us are unqualified to speak about the problem, and
Yeah.
that's where I struggle with it.
I'm curious to see what my wife thinks about this, because she has
Exactly.
very strong feelings about breastfeeding and just the whole thing. And I would imagine she's.
I know like I said, I listened to this podcast, and I know that there were real challenges to this
Yeah.
issue. And the issue is that not just challenges like, oh, there is a supply and demand issue. There are like legal challenges, and there are social construct challenges. It's not just like you can start an app tomorrow that's a
Totally.
two-sided marketplace. There are way, way bigger problems than that. This isn't like, oh, we're just going to rip off, Grubhub, and now this is our app.
It's like Grubhub, but for breast milk.
Yeah, like there are legal challenges, there are health challenges, there are societal challenges. But if you could overcome them, I do think that there is a market for something like this.
Totally. Yeah, yeah. The downsides would be like you'd have to like really do a ton of research and like jump through probably a fair amount of hoops.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think if you clear those bars,
then you're there.
you're there. Like I guess. So the monetization structure then, if I am the creator of this, this obviously serves a need. You're just cutting off a margin off the top. Is that mainly how you're making revenue? It's $20 an ounce, and you charge 22.
I think the thing that's hard to get through, and Emily touches on this, is the challenge around in a marketplace like this. How do you keep people using the marketplace versus just finding a seller that they trust, that they like, and going completely off? And I think some securities around that are going to be like, that the market actually vets that they send you the milk, they vet the buyer up front or the seller up front.
Yeah, I guess would you just like keep personal information just like off anonymous so that you can't contact?
Nobody's going to want to do that. As a buyer,